guys, it's Will here from W.t.f Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this 2016 Subaru WRX. So for those of you guys who don't know, this is the 4th generation Subaru WRX. The first generation unfortunately was not sold in the United States. However, since 2002, the Subaru WRX has been sold in the United States, so this is the 3rd generation of US sold Subaru WRXs. So these cars have always had a very strong following, partially because they are very well-performing vehicles and relatively inexpensive. So you can pick up one of these WRXs brand new for around $30,000. And now we're approaching the time where you can find one of these 2016 models in the used market for as low as $15,000. So from a standpoint of bang for your buck, these vehicles have always been on top. But anyway, let's check out this 2016 Subaru WRX. So coming in front, you immediately see the hood scoop that is on top of your top-mounted intercooler, which helps feed air into your engine and turbocharger. So coming out front, I really like the aggressive design on the WRX. This redesign was definitely an improvement in my opinion. It's unfortunate that we no longer have the hatchback that the previous generation came with, but this sports sedan still does a very good job. So immediately you see your blue Subaru badge wrapped around a both gloss and flat black grille, and it's a very nice design. You don't really see 3 different style elements in grills very often, but right here you have just flat spokes, you have your mesh design in the middle, and just a gloss black panel on the bottom. Very nice, very nice. Coming down, you do have an STI front splitter. This car does have a few aftermarket options that we will go over, but never mind, we can come around side. So over here you have your projector beam headlights, and these do move. So when you turn the wheel to the left or right, these headlights will follow, which will help you see exactly where you're going at night. And it's very nice to have that. So coming down, you do have fog lights. Not a lot of vehicles have fog lights anymore, but it's nice to see that this Subaru does. But anyway, let's take another step back. All right, so very nice. Let's come around side. So when you come around side, you immediately see you do have a WRX badge and heat extractors. But let's check out these tires. So these are Michelin Pilot Sport all-season tires. And for those of you guys who don't know, Michelin makes very good tires, and these all-seasons are some of the best performing all-season tires that I've personally ever driven. They're not cheap. These are pretty expensive tires, but if you're going to be driving a sports sedan all year long, it's very nice to have the best rubber possible. So these are dimensions wise 245/40 ZR18 tires. So with 245 Michelin tires all around, this car does grip pretty well. Obviously you're going to be pushing this vehicle's limits in traction when it comes to like true performance track driving, but just for the regular everyday commute, occasional back road carving, these tires do an absolutely fantastic job. And so of course this vehicle also has 4-wheel drive, which also helps the traction, but nonetheless, very nice wheels. So you do have gunmetal gray rims with 2 piston calipers in the front and single piston calipers in the rear. And surprisingly, the brakes do a pretty good job. But anyway, come around side. We do not have a smart access door, unfortunately, but you can always just open it and lock it with your key fob. But let's take a step back. So very nice tinted windows on this car. It contrasts the white color very well. So you can see here, you do have a Cobb Tune Stage 2 on this WRX. So this car will be making closer to like 300 wheel horsepower and probably over 300 wheel torque. So the car is definitely fast. But anyway, come around side. So you also have the same rubber, of course, in the rear, 245/40 rubber. But come around side, you have your tinted rear windshield. And here you got your WRX rear end. So this particular owner swapped out the blue Subaru badge for this faux carbon fiber design. And you can see it follow along over on the bumper panel. And you got your Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive with your WRX badge right here. And nice lip spoiler on your deck lid. But let's come around down. So you have a really nice rear diffuser. You can check this out right here. And you have an STI exhaust. So this car does have a nice deep tone to it. Unfortunately, we don't have unequal length headers for the WRX anymore. We have equal length headers, so you're not going to have that signature Boxer rumble like you used to. However, this is still a Subaru Boxer engine, so there is going to be its own distinct sound, so not to worry too much. But anyway, let's come around inside over here. You got your gas cap. Unfortunately, it's not pushed to open. You do have to go inside to open it. So for those of you guys who are paranoid about people pouring stuff into your gas tank, I guess that's nice for you. All right, so let's step into this WRX now with the car turned off. So you do have soft touch on top. Down here, you have a little cloth lining, which will keep your arm, I guess, soft when you have your elbow on the elbow pad, which is also very soft and leather wrapped. But come around down here, everything here is hard plastic. Everything down here, of course, hard plastic. But you do get a decent amount of storage space. You can fit a bottle of liquid over there. And coming over here, you do have a real aluminum door handle. That's nice to have. And you have automatic driver window, but the other 3 windows are not automatic, but they're still power, of course. And you have your mirror. But never mind on that. Let's go inside. So there's your gas release right down there. You do have Subaru WRX floor mats. And of course, this vehicle comes with a 6-speed manual, so you got your 3 pedals, which are aluminum plated. So they are very nice. And this particular WRX, as you will see later, has subwoofers, so you can adjust them down here. And this vehicle also has LED lights all around and on the inside, which are adjusted through there. But anyway, you have your traction control settings, you got your odometer settings, you got your trunk release. So it's nice to have those, but never mind on that. Here you have your steering wheel. Unfortunately, it's turned. Oh, nope, it does have a lock. Never mind. Okay, so you can check it out. Unfortunately, this steering wheel has a cover on it, so I won't be able to show you too well, but it is flat bottom. It does have excellent bolstering extensions. Very good steering wheel. I'm very impressed. Contrast stitching, as you can see with the red, and very deep and supportive 9 and 3 slots for your hands. So overall, I'm very impressed with the Subaru WRX steering wheel. And as you can see, the owner swapped out the decals for carbon fiber faux materials. But anyway, here you have your voice commands. You have your cruise control settings. And anyway, you come around here, you have your aftermarket Sony touchscreen, and it also has a rear view camera, which is nice because in 2016, rear view cameras were not yet mandated by the government to be a mandatory standard feature on all new vehicles. So the fact that this owner swapped that in is very nice. But anyway, you have your hazards, of course. You come down for your automatic climate controls and your 6-speed manual shifter. All right, so you have your real emergency brake. It's nice because a lot of manufacturers are starting to go the button route. But anyway, you also have heated seats. But anyway, so here you have your 2-tier armrest. This is relatively soft. It's not the softest armrest. You will hear some people, I guess, complain about the hardness of this armrest, but after living with my Camaro armrest for the last few months, I cannot complain about any other armrest ever again. But anyway, you open it up. You have a relatively decent amount of space. Not the biggest glove box, but it does the job nonetheless. But anyway, you can come up top to your dashboard. Relatively soft-ish plastic. It's not the most high-quality soft touch material, but at least they did try. So you're not going to have hard plastic on your dashboard, except for, of course, right here. And all this can be hard, but all your materials over here are all going to be soft touch. So it's nice that they give you a little bit more high quality with that. And you have a, I don't know if you can pick that up, but carbon fiber trim as well. But anyway, so check out these seats. These seats are very supportive. They are cloth, but as you guys know, I do enjoy a good supportive cloth seat over a leather seat a lot of the time. And these seats are absolutely fantastic. Some of the best seats I have honestly ever sat in. So when you have supportive seats, a lot of the times they're going to be overly supportive. So they're going to be very stiff, very hard. And so I'm not the smallest person. I'm like 185 pounds at 6 foot. So when the seat's too aggressive, a lot of the times I can just feel it just punching into my ribs, and it's just not an enjoyable experience to be driving a car with a seat that's that aggressive. But these seats are still aggressive. As you can see, very large bolstering extensions. However, they're still extremely soft. So when it comes to these seats, I'm very impressed. But let's step back into the back seat of the Subaru WRX and see what we get back there. Okay, so stepping into the back seat of the Subaru WRX. So again, I'm 6 feet tall and I'm sitting behind my seat settings, and my feet are starting to touch the seat, but honestly, they're not touching the seat too badly. I'm not really uncomfortable back here. So overall, solid back seat space. You can comfortably seat 4 people in this car, and in an emergency, you can squeeze a 5th person here in this middle seat. So all in all, I'm impressed with the back seat space of this vehicle. Okay, so here you have your old school key fob with a Subaru badge in the back. So you just press your trunk release button to get into your trunk. And here you go. So this car has a 12 cubic foot trunk. However, you can see that this car has absolutely massive subwoofers. So you're really not going to have a usable trunk if you do choose to go with subwoofers. However, you can still fit a couple grocery bags over here in the corner in emergency situations. And you also have a really large back seat. So if you don't have to carry 4 people all the time, you can go with subwoofers if you absolutely have to. However, do not expect to have a usable trunk if that is a choice you choose to make. But all in all, let's shut this trunk, take a look at the back, and let's start up this Subaru WRX and hear how she sounds. Okay guys, so that was of course the sound of the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine sold by Subaru. And again, this vehicle has the STI exhaust, and this vehicle is tuned to a stage 2. But let's get this hood opened up and check it out. So it's nice that we have struts and no prop rod, but there you have it. So this vehicle does have Perrin performance, some modifications. You have your strut tower brace up top, you got your engine cover, you got your Perrin performance intake. So nice to have. Here's your suction for the intake. But there you have it. You got your top mounted intercooler. And so this vehicle makes 258 horsepower from the factory. 268 horsepower, I'm sorry. And 258 pound-foot of torque. So this vehicle is tuned. So expect to make closer to 300 to the wheels for both horsepower and torque, or about, I guess, 350, 360 to the crank. So this vehicle is pretty fast. But anyway, let's step inside and see how the Subaru WRX looks with the car turned on. Okay, so stepping in. Okay, so you got your red illuminated speedometer and tachometer. That changed. So the new Subaru WRXs do not have this gauge cluster. You do have a digital speedometer in the middle. Nice to have. You got your turn signals, of course, and you have your manual wipers. But as I said before, of course, you got your 6-speed manual transmission. But here, let me show you guys the backup camera, which is aftermarket. So to put this vehicle in reverse, you just pick up the shifter right here, put it all the way to the right and down. So now you can see that you have a very nice HD backup camera, which was not a standard feature when this vehicle came. And you can pick up one of these aftermarket systems for about $300-ish now, and a lot of them even come with Apple CarPlay, which gives you extremely high capability for basically any vehicle that doesn't originally come with it. But anyway, this is basically what you get. You do not get vents for your rear passengers, so I'm not gonna even go there. But all in all, very nice interior. But no blind spot monitoring, unfortunately, but these are large mirrors. So all in all, visibility in this car is like absolutely fantastic. You can see literally everything. So parking face first will be absolutely no problem. You can back in if you want to. Very great visibility. So that's definitely a plus too. But that's about everything there is to see with the inside and outside of the 2016 Subaru WRX. So what do you say we take this tuned Subaru WRX with a 6-speed manual out for a drive? All right, guys, so now that we've just about seen everything there is to see with the inside and outside of the WRX, let's take this car out for a drive and see how she performs. So immediately, along with the Stage 2 tune that this car has, it also has a Stage 2 clutch. So it's going to be a little bit heavy, on the heavier side, but it does engage very, very linear. So the main engagement point in this clutch is going to be towards the middle, and from the middle on is going to be basically all engagement, which gives you a very good feel. Okay, let's go. As you guys will see, the second gear in this car is a little bit tough to pick up because the revs hang a lot. So for example, so when you're in first gear and you're just trying to pick up speed, so you accelerate to about 3,000, 3,500 RPM, but when you let go of the gas, it's like the revs continue to build. So it's going to take some time to adjust to it, but it's very doable. But let's turn onto this little straight road and see how this WRX can not only handle in a straight line, but see how it can handle these bumps, because this road is very, very rough. Yeah, as you guys can see, this car's ride quality is not its strong suit. So this car is a very good sports sedan. It handles the turns very well. It accelerates very well. However, on roads like these, where there's basically nothing but bumps, that's just not where, as you can see, this vehicle exceeds. But once this road clears up a little bit, when the bumps start to go away, we'll do a little acceleration run and see how this 2016 WRX can really perform. So, okay, slow down right here. Okay, we're not going to launch it, just roll into it, and let's go. Yeah, she pulls hard. This is a fun car, guys. This is a very, very fun car. And for beginners, if this is like your first manual transmission car, I promise you, this is a very easy car to learn on. So the clutch, extremely linear. Even if you don't go for a stage clutch, you're going to have a very good clutch. The shifter is extremely notchy, and it's very tall, so it's in a very good position for your hands. So all in all, I really can't complain. In terms of being a driver's car, this car does not disappoint. Alright, so second gear, we're about to hit this turn at too fast speed, but that doesn't matter because this car's handling is unbelievable. I hope you guys can hear the diverter valve whooshing under the engine over there. Of course, the intake definitely helps that noise, but it sounds very good. Okay, let's drop it down to second and see how this vehicle can perform on this back road. But let's go, turning it in. Ooh, very nice. Wow, hopping around a little bit. Yeah, turn in sharp. Turn in sharp. And we're out. Yeah. So I really like this car. She definitely moves. Expect 0 to 60 to be around between 5 and 6 seconds, depending on how quickly you can shift the car. But which is very good numbers, honestly. So for a daily driver or sports sedan, 5 seconds 0 to 60 is very good. You have all the power you could ever need, especially with this tune. Probably around 300 wheel horsepower, about 350, 360 engine. But so let's just turn around real quick and do one more little run with the 2016 WRX. Very nice clutch. You could easily feel where this clutch grabs. Very notchy shifter. I really like the shifter. This is an STI shifter. Of course, shifter definitely makes it a little bit notchier and shorter throws. So let's go second gear. We have some turbo lag. Here we go. Very nice. Very, very nice. But again, there is turbo lag. You got a good like second or so until the engine really starts picking up. But even though the turbo is lagging, you can definitely hear it. Brakes, turning, sharp. This car grips, guys. This car can grip. And let's go. Great car. So about the manual, so of course this is your first manual car, you will have basically zero problems. So this is a small motor, however, so since it's a 2-liter engine, you are going to have to feather around with the brake, with the gas and the clutch in the initial startup. But other than that, you won't really have any issues outside of possibly the first to second shift. But anyway, let's drop it down in a second. Let's see, one more little pull. Alright, and we're out. Lag, boost, shift. Yeah, we're gonna have to slow down a little bit. But yeah, you guys will not be disappointed with this car. So even for the 2016 model, we're starting to approach the point where you can pick up one of these with about 70,000 miles for about $15,000. You can get a really good condition one for about 20, but even still, you definitely knock off the original MSRP by quite a bit. So if you're looking for a first car, I would highly recommend this car to you. Specifically with the 6-speed manual, of course, because with the CVT, I can't really imagine this car being anywhere near as enjoyable. Of course, you will still have the same engine, the same power numbers. It's just without being able to shift yourself, or at least have a actual automatic transmission that allows you to even just paddle shift. It's unfortunate. So if you are someone who does not want to drive a manual, if that's just a big no for you, I would not recommend this car for you, because with the CVT, this car just loses basically its whole purpose. I'd recommend something from, I guess, the American competition that offers the 10-speed automatic transmission. I know Ford and Chevy offers it, and that's a great transmission. Maybe even go for a car with a dual clutch, but just don't go with a vehicle with a CVT, in my opinion. But if you're okay with the manual, if you prefer the manual, and are looking for an affordable, fun car, I would highly recommend this car for you. So this vehicle I was originally planning on purchasing myself. So if I never ended up moving to Florida and I stayed in my old home, I would have ended up buying the WRX, because I was up north and this car has 4-wheel drive. And for those of you guys from up north, you guys know how important 4-wheel drive can be, especially in the hills. So I was definitely going to be considering going with a car like this instead of the Camaro or Mustang. But so even in Florida or even down south, if you guys want a sports sedan, if you guys can't have a 2-door sports car, if you guys have kids, large families, I would definitely recommend this car for you. But yeah, so as soon as this traffic over here clears up, we'll do one more little acceleration run and then wrap it up. All right, let's do one more. See that second gear, not very smooth. She rips. Okay guys, so all in all, would I recommend this vehicle for you guys? Absolutely, especially if you're looking for a 6-speed manual. This car is extremely quick. It handles incredibly well, especially with these Michelin Pilot Sport tires on them. And with this tune, the car, it rips. Like, it has very good low-end torque. It carries the power band all the way to the top. So I know a big complaint with this car is that there's a little dead zone between 4,500 and 5,500 RPM. A lot of them experience a little dead zone. And with this tune, I don't feel any dead zone at all. The only dead zone I feel is up until 3,000 RPM before the turbo spools in. But other than that, this car, very fast. insanely good handling. I'm very happy with this car all around. Great space in the back seat. The only real downside of this car is just overall ride quality, which is honestly not even that bad. So if you've ever driven like an average sports car, this car drives its ride quality similar to an average sports car, which makes sense because its handling capabilities is also similar to an average sports car. But all in all, great car. I would 100% recommend this to anybody that's looking to buy a sports sedan. But yeah, so please subscribe, like the video. Let me know what I can improve on in the comments section. I'll be very interested to hear what you have to say. I will always respond to your comments, and I would always just appreciate your overall support. So thank you so much for watching. I definitely enjoyed making this video for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. So have a great day.